it is Thursday, man, and I gotta tell you, the thumbnail says it all, including the video title says it all. Do you guys remember the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection when they show like a scene where it had like four question marks and they were showing like all the screenshots? Those could be four potential games that we don't know that are going to be on this collection. I, uh, I've come up to a thought about it all. Sorry for this dinging, dinging, dinging. It's like notifications and all this other stuff going on it. 'Cause sometimes, the notifications that come up are running late on the tablet. But I came across, quite a few different YouTubers doing their predictions on what the four games could be added on to all the games we got so far, because the games we got so far, I mean, we got different versions of them coming out for like arcade, NES version, Genesis. We got the handheld system and stuff like that. And a lot of mine is going to be based on what others were saying. And I am actually hoping my version of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I want to see MK Trilogy to be on this. I've never played the N64 version of it. It has always been the PlayStation version of it, and I love the PlayStation version because it is the first time that you get to play as Rain, and I believe it's the first time you do get to play as Anub Sabat as well. And then you get the bosses from each of the games that led up to MK Trilogy. So I'm really, really excited about that. So, hey, I mean, when you think of, what other games can we put on here, I am so hoping MK Trilogy, the PlayStation version, gets on here. I know some people like the N64 version, which I've never played, but I was a PlayStation guy when MK Trilogy came out. I remember that really, really well. And, the fact of the matter is that I have a copy of it. It's not here. I gave it to a buddy of mine. And I'm like, man, you know what? I should see if he's got that at his house and get that back so that way I can play it. But then again, there's no point, because if they do put that on there, there's really no point in having my original copy of MK Trilogy. So I remember, you get to switch out some of the characters from like the past games. Like say you get Kung Lao, Raiden, Jax, Kano. If you put the cursor on all four of those characters, and I don't know what button it is, but you press it. For Kano, you get Kano from Part 1. For Jax, you get Jax from Part 2. For Kung Lao, you get Kung Lao from MK2. And then Raiden, you get Raiden from MK1. I wish what Midway, John Tobias and Boone, I wish what they would have done with that is give us like all the versions of like the characters from 1, 2 in there. Like, I mean, I would have loved to seen the version of Sonya Blade from MK1 on Trilogy. I would have loved to seen a version of the two versions of Shang Tsung from MK1, MK2 in Trilogy. I would have liked to seen Johnny Cage from MK1 and MK2. I think that was a huge missed opportunity when Mortal Kombat Trilogy came out, because why give us options? We can play as another version of Kano from a previous game, another version of Jax, Raiden, and Kung Lao. I wish they would have done that. I wish we could have gotten another version of Liu Kang from MK1 and MK2. That would have been cool. That would have been the ultimate MK Trilogy to me, but they didn't do it. For some reasons, but I'm expecting Mortal Kombat Trilogy, to be honest. Like I said, it's the first game that you get to play as Rain, and then Noob Sabat is a playable character as well. And then plus the bosses like Shao Kahn, Kintaro, Mutaro, Goro are first time playable bosses that you can play as. My fourth game, or my second question mark, what I think it could be would be in my collection. What I would like to see would be, and I could be kind of crazy because I played some of these games because my best friend had Armageddon. I believe he had Armageddon. I know he had Deception. I know Gold would be a really cool one. That was strictly just for the Dreamcast. I know I played that one time over at his house. Mortal Kombat Gold would be really cool. And the reason why I'm saying it is because you got Mortal Kombat 4 already on this collection, and that's the first 3D Mortal Kombat that was ever made. I remember owning that copy of Mortal Kombat 4 on the PlayStation 1 when it came out, and it was cool. Even though the graphics were not as great like what we got now today, but still it would be really, really cool just to have another 3D Mortal Kombat on there. With Mortal Kombat Gold, you get a couple new characters and a couple new stages. I know you get Mileena, Kitana, Cyrax, Sector, and Baraka. I remember playing that, and it was fun. It was fun, you know. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, and I believe Mortal Kombat Gold is an extension of Mortal Kombat 4. That game was cool. I like the way Reptile looked too in Mortal Kombat 4, by the way. I think he looked really, really cool. Very, very different. Just very, very different. I didn't like what they did with Reptile in MK1, the last one they did. I really wasn't a big fan of that game, even though I do own it. I think Mortal Kombat 11 was a little bit better. I think X is even better. But I see here, for the third question mark, I would probably go ahead and say Mortal Kombat Armageddon would be really cool to have on there. I think that's the one that I think I played it one time. I know that's one that has a real big roster. It's also another 3D Mortal Kombat. So I think that would be really cool. I don't really have much to say about that one, but I would love to play that one just because the roster is so big. And, I just think it'd be fun. I don't know how much, I'll probably talk about price here in a minute, what I think this collection is going to go for. And then my fourth and final game, I think, would be Mortal Kombat Deception, would be the fourth one. Now, I know a lot of people had said they would love to see Mortal Kombat Special Forces and Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. That would be pretty cool too. But I think what they could do is have every single one of them that led up to the first game, led up to maybe X, be on this collection. Have like Mortal Kombat 9 and so on and so on and so on. Hope you're doing good, Face. We're just talking a little bit about Mortal Kombat, the Legacy Collection. I just named off my 4 games that I want to see because they had like 4 question marks in the trailer for it when they showed like all the screenshots and they were going shh, and there was like 4 question marks on screen. So my 4 Mortal Kombat games I would love to see on this collection is Mortal Kombat Trilogy, the PlayStation version, Mortal Kombat Gold, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and Mortal Kombat Deception, along with this other stuff. Now, could this just be one volume? It could be. You never know. They could add in Mythologies. They could add in Mortal Kombat Special Forces. They could add in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. They can add in, all of it. You just never know what they're going to do. Now, when you talk about price range, now, I do own the Street Fighter 35th Anniversary Edition. I got it on digital. I bought that for $29.99, but originally it's like $39.99 in physical format. And I believe this MK collection could be just coming out for digital. I don't really know yet, but I'm estimating it maybe around maybe $39.99 possibly. If not, maybe $49.99 maybe. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to depend on if it's just going to be physical or if it's just going to be digital and physical both. I kind of would prefer maybe digital because I got all the games that I got. Most of my games are on digital. I do got a couple of them here on physical format, and I still got a couple of them that I want to pick up on physical format, like the new Resident Evil game that's coming out next February. I want to get that specifically on physical format. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's, when you look at these Mortal Kombat games, I remember, I'm going to take you a trip down memory lane. I'm going to take a trip down memory lane when I got into it. I remember the local mall here in town had an arcade, and I remember seeing the arcade cabinet of the first game. I'm like, oh, what the hell is this, and this was back in 94, 93, 94. I got a chance. I played it, and it was really fun because it was like the first time that you saw actual. It looked like it's actual. I forgot what they called the term, but they used real people on screen instead of like CGI characters. Except for like Goro and stuff like that. He had to be done CGI, and of course Shang Tsung as well, back in the first one. But I was like, well, this is pretty interesting. And then kind of find out that once you beat your opponent, you get to either finish him or finish her, and you get to do like a fatality, which is kill him. I thought that was pretty interesting. When I kind of got out of the phase and I said, hey, this isn't for me or anything like that anymore, because what's the point of killing your opponent when you already beat them? But then I can see why. I mean, going back when I was a kid, when MK2 came out, the arcade was packed. They had people lined up, particularly with Part 3, Mortal Kombat 3. I remember that, getting a chance to play that, and people were just lined up waiting to play each other on it, and it was epic, man. I actually got a chance to play somebody on it, and it was, it was fun. Some are more experienced than others, but I'm kind of hoping too in this collection that we get all one button fatalities for every single game, because that would be really, really cool to do. But hey, it is what it is with this collection. When it does come out, I'm fired up. I can't wait to play the Game Boy ones. That'd be pretty neat just to see that played. I played Mortal Kombat 1 on Game Gear. That was all right. So you look at that, the music's different. I did see a screenshot of Mortal Kombat 2 for the Game Boy, and they're missing a couple of characters. I know they're missing Baraka for sure on that. But it's I don't know why they do that, especially with Mortal Kombat Trilogy on N64. You don't get to play as the bosses, which I thought is very, very weird, and I don't know why anybody would want to play the N64 version when you can have the definitive version of MK Trilogy on PlayStation. So, yeah, it is what it is, and it's one of the things you got to look at is if you're a Mortal Kombat fan. I am. The movies weren't that great. I'll kid you that. The '95 movie was. It was good. You had Christopher Lambert as Raiden. I thought, man, what the heck, I like the new guy they got for Raiden that was in the 2021 movie. The 2021 MK movie with Hiroki Sanada, who played Scorpion. I had to go back and rewatch it to get a good feel of it. When I first watched it, I was like, I didn't really like it. They didn't have the tournament in that one. So in the new one that's come out this October, Mortal Kombat 2, they're going to have the tournament in it. You got Katana, you got Jade, you got Sindel, you got the guy that played Sub-Zero's coming back to play as, I think, Noob Saibot. So you're going to have a lot of different things in there. I'm just kind of wondering what Kano is going to look like because he's coming back. I wonder if he's going to have the metal plate with the red eye. We didn't get that in MK 2021, so. But yeah, the movies thus far have not been that good. Annihilation was just terrible. I remember seeing that. It was in junior high. I'll never forget that. And my one teacher, he was a Vietnam veteran. Did the whole combat thing and everything else in Vietnam, and he was just very, very much of a big fan of the Mortal Kombat. And we actually watched Mortal Kombat Annihilation in there, and I watched a couple of clips of it on YouTube here a couple months back, and I cannot believe how terrible this movie really was. You know, no offense to Brian Thompson. If you guys know who he is, he played Shao Kahn in that film. He was also the killer, or one of the killers in the 1986 film Cobra with Sylvester Stallone. He did a good job. To me, he just didn't match up as Shao Kahn, because I like the version of Shao Kahn we got near the end of the first film from '95, when the heroes, they're from warriors, are walking up to that temple, and then all of a sudden it just sky gets black, and there we are. That was the version of Shao Kahn I thought we were going to get, but we never got it. But we do get Shao Kahn in the new film that's coming out, and from the screenshots, he looks pretty cool, pretty menacing. It's going to be interesting to see what he's actually going to be like on film. So, this is, like I said, this is a general, talk now with Mortal Kombat and stuff. But the movies this far have not impressed me big time. The games have, because I grew up, with the games, going to the arcades and playing them, and then playing them on the home console, but mainly Super Nintendo. But yeah. If I had to look at, if you want a complete collection, which I don't know if they're coming up with volume 2 of MK Legacy Collection, if they're going to make a volume 2 of it, I think what they need to do is just make one big giant collection, and here we go, and that's it. That would be awesome. Included all the way up to, included from Mortal Kombat 1 all the way up to Mortal Kombat 9, which I don't know which one that was titled. Whether that was Deception or whatever the hell it was, I don't know, or Armageddon, I don't know which one was 8 or 9. I couldn't even tell you, but yeah, it's when you look at these games, and I don't play too much. I mean, I'll live stream on my channel, like I'm doing Castlevania, Order of Elysia, and the Karate Kid Street Rumble. I'll be doing those again this weekend here, because it's going to be so super hot. I can't go out and do the kayak games. I'm not going to roast myself like a marshmallow on that. But when you look at my channel, I'm trying to find my bottle of water here. Here it is. When you look at my channel, it's I do some live stream gaming if I have time. I don't normally do it all the time. I remember when I was a kid back in the day, I would play left and right. Go to the video store every Friday. Because school was done for the week, and rent games, play them at night, just stay up late and play them and stuff like that. Then I got into my mid-20s, and I'm like, I got kind of out of that, and then I got kind of out of that in my 30s, and then I hopped back into it about a couple years ago, and then died down again. And it's like, I don't know if it's an age thing with me or what, but I mean, I know the difference between reality and fantasy. So, and it's good to play these games, don't get me wrong. But you'll never catch me doing a live stream where I'm doing it for like 6 hours. The longest stream I've ever live streamed a game, I believe it was Resident Evil Director's Cut, I think was almost maybe 3 hours. That was that, okay? But I mean, there's people out there that are on YouTube that'll sit there. I mean, these guys have their own video game channels on YouTube, and they'll sit there. And I'm not trying to bash anybody. They'll sit there and they'll play for 6 hours straight. And I'm thinking, okay, so I'm gonna play video games 6 hours straight on my YouTube channel, live streaming it, and I could be doing something else. Particularly, that's why a lot of these games, when I play them fighting online, that's why I get my ass kicked all the time, because these guys play it for 6 hours. And they mastered one character or a couple characters that they play as, and they just beat the hell out of you. I remember one time I was playing, I think it was Injustice 2, guys. I got the shit beat out of me. I couldn't even touch the guy. I couldn't even touch him. But for the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I will be playing it online once I get really familiarized again with the controls and the combos and stuff. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, and like I said, I'm not going to sit there and play for 6 hours straight, and it's like, hey, I got a life outside of YouTube here. I'm not going to sit here and play, 6 hours straight so I can be the king of the Mortal Kombat world and all this other stuff, I don't got time for that crap. I really don't. If I was married, I had kids, I'd be devoting that 6 hours to my wife and my kids, and that's it, I mean, I can do YouTube, but I mean, I do it like maybe like at night, like I usually do, like my live stream commentaries from my movies and stuff. But enough of that about talking about that. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a rumble when this collection comes out, and particularly it's gonna be a rumble on live streaming, or live or playing online with people. I can just imagine. I can just imagine like all the nostalgia and everything. It's almost like playing back in the arcades, playing this stuff, and instead of being in an arcade, you're actually at home playing against somebody online. Now I don't know about anybody else that's got PS5, but when I played online, I don't hear the trash talking unless it's like for like an older fighting game. I know for my Injustice 2, I can still hear people on the mic, and for MKX, I can hear people on the mic because I played against a younger kid, probably 6 or 7 years old or whatnot, playing it, and he was just you know trash talking this way and that way. You can't get me. You can't get me here. You can't get me there, and that stuff just to me, I don't like it. We're playing for the fun of it. That's what we're doing. But you got a whole bunch of people out there. I mean, if I can master these fatalities, hey, you want to trash talk? Hey, I'll take in Reptile here, and he'll take his mask off, and I'll have him eat part of your body, his head. I think it was in Mortal Kombat 2, where Reptile takes off his mask. It's a reptilian head, and his stun comes out. He eats your head. He eats your upper torso, and then that's it. Or there's one fatality that Reptile does where he takes off his ninja mask, and then he vomits acid on you. If you want to trash talk me, if I was able to master all that, or if they get one button fatalities, hey, you want to trash talk me? I'm going to give you a fatality. Here we go. End of story. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. It'll be interesting to see what other games are going to be on this collection. Mythology Sub-Zero, like I said, I played it maybe like once or twice. Controls are very, very different. The game itself isn't for me, and I'm going to be honest with you. When you think of Mortal Kombat, the two characters that everybody likes is Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I do not like neither both of those guys. In fact, I can't stand neither of them. However, I do like the unmasked Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 3. The introduction of unmasked Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 3, that version of Sub-Zero I do like. But I do not like Scorpion or Sub-Zero. I never have, and I never will be a fan of those two characters. I have always been a fan of Reptile. I mean, I think Reptile is probably the coolest ninja. I don't know particularly if he's a Lin Kuei ninja or not. I mean, I don't know. Especially with the whole thing with the latest games that they had, Mortal Kombat X, because Reptile was not in Mortal Kombat 11, but he's in Mortal Kombat 1, the newest one, not the one from '93, but the newest Mortal Kombat, which was been rebranded as Mortal Kombat 1. I did not like his look, but they didn't say he was with the Lin Kuei from what I remember, and I played the main story. I had to get back into it and play Chaos Reigns, which is the second story, which I have not played yet. I think Rain is a very interesting character, and like I said, that's the reason why I want MK Trilogy to be in this classic collection, because that is the first time you get to play as Rain is in MK Trilogy. Now, I'm not a fan. I liked Ermac. I think he was cool. I mean, he was a character that was around the time that MK1 came out, but he was hidden. I mean, we didn't know anything about him, but he was there, but we didn't know anything about him until like in I think it was when he was introduced in MK Ultimate MK3. But I did not like what they did with him recently with the last, I think the last two games. They made him like this entity and stuff like that. And, particularly I think he was the way they did him in MK1, the one that just came out, the last Mortal Kombat game. I just think they really, really screwed him up, in my opinion. I mean, I like when you get to Mortal Kombat X, which is Mortal Kombat 10, or Mortal Kombat XL. You get to switch out the costumes. You get his classic costume, which is the red Lin Kuei ninja costume, which I love. I love that whole thing where he can actually teleport punch. It turns into like a big flame, and he like Scorpion's teleport punch. And he's got that like that green like uh, spiked ball thing that he shoots out like it's almost like Sub-Zero. That's cool. But if you had to ask me, my two favorite ninjas of all time are Reptile and Rain, and that's why I'm hoping MK Trilogy is on there. Now for non-ninjas, who is my favorite characters? And I got, the women I like. I love. You can count Melina and Katana as ninjas. They're female ninjas, but I do like Katana and I do like Jade. Actually, I like all three of them. I like Melina, Katana, and Jade. But if you had to ask me for non-ninja characters in the Mortal Kombat franchise or series, whatever we want to call this, I would say Sonya Blade. I like the Sonya Blade from the first game. I mean, I like her costume. We get that costume back in Mortal Kombat X that I know, because I didn't play anything 3D after MK4, and then the next 3D game I didn't play until Mortal Kombat 11. So there's a big gap there. Those are the games between MK4 and MK11. There's a big gap there, and that's a tongue twister. There was a big gap in the time period between Mortal Kombat 4 and Mortal Kombat 11. Those games that are in between those two games, I have not played. So I'm not really sure if I know Rain was in a couple of them. I was not a big fan of his look in Mortal Kombat 1, I'll tell you that right now. They made him look like this sorcery type character, which I think is so crazy. But for, going back in between those games between Mortal Kombat 4 and Mortal Kombat 11, I don't know if Sonya Blade had her original costume from the first game in those. But I mean, I still love the original, costume and stuff that she had in the very first game from '92, I believe. And then my other favorite character that's a non-favorite is Johnny Cage. I like Johnny Cage. Kung Lao is pretty cool, but Nightwolf. Let's talk about Nightwolf. And I got a quarter Native American Indian in me. Okay. When Nightwolf made his debut in MK3, I was just floored. Here is a Native American in this game. Finally, we got a Native American Indian in the Mortal Kombat game, and he was very similar to Johnny Cage in a way because he had that shadow shoulder thrust where he would go and he'd lunge forward, and it'd be like the shadows coming out behind him and stuff. And then there was a version of it where it was like red. Just very, very cool stuff. I remember you get to shoot the bow and arrow. The bow and arrow would actually appear in his hand. Then he had like some type of uppercut with the tomahawk going up. And I remember a couple of his fatalities for Nightwolf was the MK2 arcade machine drop on your opponent. And then there was one with it was like a beam of light that comes down. And I can't remember what his animality was. Shit. I think the MK2 arcade machine was the friendship for Nightwolf. And then it was the tomahawk and the lightning bolts coming out where it strikes your opponent after you finish him or finish her. I remember that stuff. The animality, I believe the Nightwolf's animality was a wolf. Cyrax had the great white shark. Cyber Smoke had the bull. Sub-Zero, Unmasked Sub-Zero had the polar bear. I remember all that. I remember Ermac had a little frog, and I remember doing that in MK Trilogy because there was a code where you can get one button fatalities. And I'm going to press this button for the animality. Here we go. And then here's this little green thing about the size of a freaking dime on screen. And I'm like, what the heck? A frog? Are you kidding me? And it jumps up, I believe, and it opens up its mouth real quick, and it eats the opponent just like that. I thought that was the coolest thing. Here's an animality with a real small animal, while the other animalities were pretty big. One of them had a giant tarantula as their animality. Liu Kang, of course, his is a dragon. I don't know if you guys remember back in those days, those animalities. They started the animalities in Mortal Kombat 2. I think that's where they got the animality is from Mortal Kombat 2 of Liu Kang, because Liu Kang was the only one that I think changed into a dragon. Nobody else had a fatality where they transformed into an animal. I'm trying to think what the hell Cabal's was. Strikers, I can't remember. Uh, Someone I thought had a vulture as an animality. I think Reptile had the primate, the chimpanzee or whatever it was. It was an ape. I remember that fate. I remember that animality. Uh, and that's just about it. That's all I kind of That's all I kind of remember with the animalities. I know for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 of Melina, for one of her fatalities, she would take off her mask, those teeth. I forgot what they called the Baraka clan, Baraka's people. I forgot what their name was, but she had that blood in her. And that's why her mouth was the way it was. And then she had a can of nails, and then she'd spit them out, shoot them out at you from her mouth, and they go. That was pretty cool. I remember that. I remember the whole scared to death fatality of Cabal, where he takes off his mask and he's like and then the soul of the opponent starts running, and you can just hear it just running, So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, it's some fun stuff. I can't wait. There has not been an official month. It's coming out this year, MK Legacy Collection. It's coming out this year, but we don't know what month. But when it does get announced, I am going to be picking it up, and I think I'm going to go straight to just digital with it, because that's something I do, want to have. I got two of the. I actually got, well, not two of them, but I actually got the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. I got that on digital. I got Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. I got that on digital. Of course, I got, the external hard drive, which holds a lot of games on there that I can save on there. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Are you guys hyped up for the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection? What 4 games or what other games do you wish to see on this collection? I'll let you guys know mine were. Mine's were Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, Mortal Kombat Deception, and Mortal Kombat Gold. So, without further ado, this is Oracle signing out. See you guys back in the next one, and we're heading into the weekend, guys. Don't forget, Street Fighter 1994 live stream commentary is going to be this Saturday at 6 p.m. I am going to be watching it on Tubi. This will be the first time I watch a movie from Tubi on there, so we're going to have we are going to have ads on there, so the live stream is going to be a little bit longer for that. And the reason why I could watch Street Fighter the movie from '94 with Van Damme on Tubi or on YouTube. The only problem is you have to have your volume turned down, or else you can get copyright strikes with the film being played. So I tested it out, and the closed caption setting does not sync up right when the actors are talking. So I did test out the closed caption on Tubi, and it does match up. So we'll be watching it on Tubi. So this will be the first movie on Tubi that I'll be streaming live on my channel. So remember, it's Street Fighter from 1994, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia, and Ming-Na Wen. Hopefully at 6 p.m. this Saturday. Get ready for that. Gonna have a blast and just have fun with it all. But yeah, without further ado, guys, this is it. Take care. See you guys in the next one.